Hi there. So today I'm going to I don't know really, I'm thinking about Dolores, the deep doshik, a whole lot, and all her kids and her family, and yeah, so I thought about, as I mentioned in my previous video, that I would talk about more about those I listened to begin with more. But I just feel like I don't want to talk about anyone else than her right now. Yeah. And it's a little bit hard to describe if you weren't there, if you didn't engage and had contact with her. Some people probably just picked a lot of good stuff from her videos, but also when she had these Stickham hangouts on, I think it was Friday nights, right? And she was so open, she kind of invited you home. There was a do you say rattle? Kind of thing. I don't use an altar much, but I thought I would sit here for today. I have one pen that I just use for magical purposes. This is the one. I like this color, the indigo there at the front much. It doesn't matter which one it is, but this is special for that purpose. And here's my FMA that I've showed you before with the 10. Yeah, I found this as some secondhand. It's not suggested you find it that way, but it had worked well for me. And these steps also show me, as I mentioned before, about the 10 perfection Buddhist, or rather, like just that we can develop further. You can see it that way. And there is a fire, the Tibetan also, and here is bell, Tibetan bell. And there is a goddess face here. I'm not sure you can see it. It's a little bit dark here. And there are 3 candles, by the way. There is the to the left is the goddess candle, and to the right is the god candle, if you see it that way. And then I have a center, just for the purpose of what I'm working with or doing. And as I said, I can use them. I have my whole home or space where I am at is like my magical space. It doesn't matter really, and I spread things around quite a lot, so they don't have to just stay centered at some sort of usually, I mean, I can sometimes make a mess around, honestly. Also my altar can be quite a mess, but I still have it. Here's a little bell I got from a woman in Japan, I think it was. Kuan Yin bell. And a little mortar and pestle, or how you say, tiny one. I think the male is coming now. Maybe. Here is a little tiny cauldron. I think they are cute, the small ones. I have other ones that are more just for some practical purpose. Sometimes can be used, but this is some cute, I think. I like the round shape of it. And then I have crystals. I don't have a bunch of crystals. Well, more so than when I start to think about it, I have more than I usually think that I have. And also I work with stones overall, just general. And this one is not. This is just a colored thing, I think. But I would want to have a table, like a top of a table. I would like it to have like that. I also have some leftovers from working with candles, candle magic. also I don't like to. I've shown some of the tools, but usually I just use my mind. And here is some ordinary, to others very ordinary stone, I guess, but to me they are purposeful. So, and but the tools are just tools. And there is a necklace, but I use it for some other purpose. And just some things from the wood. And I had not planned this at all, so I just was staring around what to show. And here I have a pouch with my runes in and some other things, a few other things, kind of a divination system that I just used by myself. That no one has, and then this, I tried to show it very strangely, but it's the film Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman, and this was one of her favorite. I think it was the favorite witchy film that he had, and therefore I will watch it. I think of her also. I also like it much. It's a very cute and sweet film. So if you haven't watched it, maybe you should. I don't know. And also, I have a goddess figure there, and also Jesus, and there is a purpose. I mean, I use things symbolically, and he's like in front of covering her, I guess. And so, and this is one green-eyed owl. It says there when one of the tinctures she sent with medicinal herbs in and so on. And now, it's still different, even though we lived in different parts of the world and everything, to hold something someone else, especially if you work with psychometry, as I do much, to hold something that she held, although it was some time ago now, but still. Yeah. So we will see where I go with this whole video overall. I just wanted to check in, I don't know. And sometimes you have seen some of my other, I don't have a lot of tools like that, practical, magical, but on the other hand, everything is sort of symbolic and magical to me that I can use if I wish to. So, and here I have some moon-shaped bowls, you can say, and there is also one round for the full moon then. So what I'm doing here is turning around to see what I can show, if there is anything fun. There is a larger one, mortar, pestle, or what you say? I still don't know what to say. I would say that. And also that the table is round. Things have much more symbolic meaning. The colors of the of those candle holders, and even in the first or the central candle holder there, have very much a symbolic meaning. It all means many things to me. And also you can use it in other kinds of ways. And here is just a card. I just picked it up now with a cougar. But anyways, just to show something when I film here. But anyways, so also to see you can work with candles in so many ways, but also to see the balance in yourself between your sides. If you wish, if you use two candles, you start to recognize there is a communication going on always with all the elements and elementals and all of the universe. But if you start to use them, you start to see what they say. This sounds nuts, right? But actually there is communication, and you can discover a lot about yourself by watching your tools or the elements around you on your altar or in the nature overall. What is this then? Yeah, this is just another book. I have a lot of almost like addicted to various kinds of books that you can draw right in or so. Not very structured. I tried to become structured, but yeah, I drift into something else then. But yeah, I have a few that are a little bit more structured. And then it was very tiny space here with a candle there, so I thought about mention a little bit about, I filmed this beforehand, and then this is voiceover, so I'll show a book later on. And this is, by the way, Color Intuition. I have a CD, 2 CDs I think it is, with this woman. She was blind and made these color intuition cards. She could feel colors being blind, or she wasn't blind before I got blind, and then she started to experience colors in a different way. I think that's just amazing. But anyways, her meditations, when you chakra meditations and so on, they are just awesome. Anyways, I will show a yoga book that I got yesterday. Or I will do that later on, but I didn't know it when I started the video. So maybe I will talk a little bit about Ayurveda, and maybe a little bit about energy hygiene, because it's so important, and I tend to not prioritize that myself and sometimes, and that's really not great. It can mess things up a lot. So I've shared this before, this Munaki technique that I usually use, but it's so great, so I don't mind myself if I repeat myself. And also I don't know if the same people listen. That's when I told it before, and I don't know if I keep those up even to be found. So yeah, so maybe I should begin, because I just stare around here and wonder what to show or talk about, show in the video. Meanwhile, so there are 3 base techniques in this, in Munaki overall, I guess you could say. And those are to purify and strengthen and balance the energy body. And I have these tiny candle holders as well, and tinier candles that go with them as well. If you want to do some magic where you have the candle burn out, or if you're not so much time doing it and so on, you can use them. And I didn't think I had those close by, but at the end there I will show them though, because I saw them quite close so I could reach them. Anyways, so yeah, so these basic techniques anyway. I think the candle fell, or was that later? I don't know. Yeah, here actually also is one thing that I've had for a long time. When I realized I was a shaman and my psychic senses heightened quite a lot, it was like 2004, I think. And at the maybe 3, wait a second. Yeah, maybe 2003, I think it was. Anyways, those pearls there at the side. My mom had sent me some Christmas gifts. I lived like 120 Swedish miles from where she lived, and I could see it in the room with my eyes open when she talked about what she sent, that she sent something to me. Then I could see what it was, and she said, "What is it then?" And I could see that it was black and something on the upper part of the body. That was what I could see. And then it was like a hoodie, and here is like some stuff I have in this one. And then and here is a peace stone to use in Munaki as well. And I got these from she didn't actually teach me in Munaki, but she was the first person. She initiated me in Reiki, but she beforehand, before she got in contact with this, but she went to the Andes and was initiated in this 9 grades of Munaki later. It was the first that I heard that from, and this is from a Canadian shaman, native, and this is an eagle feather that I got from him, and this is a quartz crystal. I don't know if the sound and the video will be exactly at the right timing. I hope so. And that I use for magical purpose, also for cleansing and things, and that's really, really, those can be used for so much healing, really. So, and as I said, I've just recently started to work with, I said that before somewhere, so I think maybe you heard it. Although I work more with crystals now, I have a great respect for them, because you really do need to cleanse them, and I tend to forget stuff, and but it's really, really helpful. And so, although I don't have a lot of them, I work with them. Yeah, that was that. And that shaman was the first one who, I was talking about when she sent me those, the thing with the girl and the wolves there, that I got for some Christmas, and she hadn't sent it yet, the hoodie there she had sent already, but I hadn't gotten it, so it's just that day, so she knew I hadn't gotten it. But then she said, now you cannot know what I have sent, because she was really disturbed that I could see what I would get for gift. And then she sent that one, and I said that there are some leather bands of sorts, and then there is this those small pearls, and I saw them in that. This is botch drops of some sort, by the way. Old ones, but they smell really good. But they aren't really for the smell, but for the impact. You put it under the tongue. They're really awesome also. But anyways, so she had forgotten that. I said it was something of glass. I started with that, but then it was, and then I saw those leather band and some pearls, and she said, no, there are no leather bands and pearls, because she had forgotten. She had already put it into a package but not sent it. And then I saw it on the other. It was not, what do you say? It was vertical, yeah. And she thought I was just wrong. And then when I opened it and I saw those leather bands and the pearls, I was like, I just laughed at that. But I didn't know what it was exactly, so I was surprised. And this was another stone that I work with. And these are some pictures of me with the witches when I was in a coven. The high priestess Lila Bieber took these pictures. There is me on a stone. There's summer house in Vilhelmina, up here north in Sweden. And here is some other, except from her, we stand there, some of us, at Litha, the midsummer solstice. And here is this first, the shaman taught me there, who gave me that eagle feather. I just found, they were laying here, these pictures, so that was not really planned. Okay, but it went from that. I started more healing him, I felt, so after a while there. Anyways, so the bubble, here is, by the way, now I will see when it's the pause and all the things I try to show here. This is a gift. I have this oracle deck myself also. But this is a Christmas gift for someone who wished for this particular deck, who saw mine, and they're so beautiful to pick images and the meanings of this. And it's by Alberto Villoldo, and connected to, or it's related to the monarchy very much, or it is that mainly. And what is this then? wonder what I tried to show, but the candle is in the way there. I think I make the candle fall soon. No, yeah, I did. That happened before. Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't look at, so I decided to put it in the back here instead. Very brilliant. Okay. So, yeah, this is the book already now. So, yeah, this is a girl you wanna talk with that I didn't figure how to show the pictures, but they are so lovely. You just want to sink into them. So, I thought as a beginning of this new year, and also it's every month it goes through the months of the year actually, although it started in January though, but still. And recently, a couple of weeks ago, I was at this. There was a day she taught about ayurveda and yoga also, and she had been a triathlon athlete. Won the triathlon here in Sweden, and so she's very fit, and I'm quite not. Although she took it so cool on this yoga day, but yeah, I was almost faint. Yeah. and most of the other ones, I think, many of those who were there were yoga teachers, and so. But it was fun. So it's very beautiful, this book. Okay. Meanwhile, I show here. I will just start to describe these techniques. Let's see how far I get. So just feel where you have the upper part of your pokpa or your bubble, bit above your head, and then the lower part a bit beneath your feet. You open the upper part of the bubble. You can open it you open like a door or like or like a camera lens, and then you pull down Sami or great good light energy from cosmos and Father Sun, so that it flows on the outside of the aura or bubble, and inside of the bubble as well, and through your physical body. And let this flow of Sami, which is light energy, take all the hucha or the heavy energy with it on its way, when it's flowing downwards. So, and then open the part that is beneath your feet, and let this flow out of energy out, and this is to flush away this heaviness to Pachamama, because this is just heavy for us, not for her. It's a gift to her, like a good snack or manures that makes things grow and thrive. So, and if you feel that some heavy energies feel stuck and that you can't get it loosen, or then you can also ask Pachamama to help you to suck it from you. So continue with that until you feel cleansed and fresh, and then you close off the energy just by stopping to pulling down the energy, thinking that you close. But you will not close it yet. You will hold this bubble open if you continue to the next part, which is, it goes in a flow, but still. Then the energy you get in this second part of it, that is part of the same sort of, is your Aini. It's a gift for the gift you gave. She gives something back. So Pachamama then give you good energy for that strengthens and balances you, and often feels more dense than, or more, you can feel it more, this energy from Pachamama, usually. So you can ask her for her gift to you. And then most people used to get a feeling of experience, like if someone is touching lightly underneath their feet, and when you feel this touch, then you pull this good energy from Pachamama through the bubble and through the body, and let it touch and strengthen all your cells on its way through the body and flow out through the opening at the top of the bubble, and then it creates a column of this energy that goes all the way up to Cosmos and Father Sun, and that becomes their gift back from the energy they gave you. And if you don't feel this touch on the soles of the feet, don't bother about that, because you may have to use a bit of a exercise to become that sensitive. I felt it immediately though, but so, and even if you don't feel it, you can still ask for it and then pull it up, because when you leave heavy energy to her, she will give you her energy back. So, and when you feel that you're done, then you close off the energy flow by stopping pulling this energy up, and then you close your bubble again, both on the top and bottom, but mostly important at the top, because otherwise you may be very open to many things. And it's good to do these morning and night daily, and also any time you feel the need for it during the day. So, like when you brush your teeth or so on. It's energy, body, hygiene. Yeah. So, that was that. Oh. Someone was in the phone. Well, I will just continue here and not bother about that much right now. So, and I'm sorry I wave around with this, because I figured it's better that I keep this book here on the table, but maybe you get a little bit dizzy here. I think maybe I don't have time to go into the Ayurveda things right now, or do I? I don't know about that. But anyways, this yoga day, it was awesome with this woman, and I have a tiny actually someone I know, her first book is a tiny book that I've used to practice some of her. She had this book a long time ago, and it's as beautiful as this one, just a smaller one. So it was awesome to meet her. I think I will tell you a little bit about Ayurveda then, and about the seasonal cycles. I tell it to myself also to remind myself that every food in nature has a specific medicinal effect to keep your body in balance as we transition from season to season. The foods harvested by season are also antidotes and balance our changing climates. For example, winter is cold and dry. Nuts, which are harvested in the fall, are eaten in the winter to provide the perfect high-fat, high-protein food to insulate our bodies. In the hot summer months, cool fruits and vegetables are bountiful, and in the rainy and muddy months of spring, nature provides a low-fat, low-mucus harvest of sprouts, greens, and berries. To bring your body back into balance, or stay in balance if you are in balance with nature, begin to eat more of the foods harvested in each season. This is not only Ayurveda that teaches that, and also my cat wake up here soon, so I had to have the snuffer ready so it doesn't I don't start a fire. So and you may have heard about Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So also in the seasons there is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So it's like a 3-season diet. In nature, we harvest foods at the end of the 3 active growing seasons: spring, summer, and fall. And winter is typically dormant. And so we harvest foods to be stored and eaten all winter. So following Ayurveda, you would eat spring harvested food from the spring grows. No, never mind about that. Yeah, I will just skip things here. But there are, it's nature's intelligence. There are 3 principles that govern the properties of each of the 3 growing seasons, and that is, as I said, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And Vata is ether or space and air. Pitta is fire and a little bit of water. Kapha is earth, water and earth. So, and it's the qualities of those. It's not just the elements, but that too, actually. But yeah, so for example, spring is wet and heavy, and that's Kapha time. And so yeah. And summer is hot and Pitta time. And fire, hot like summer. And winter cold and dry, Vata air, and dry like winter. So, and these goes during the time of day, and everything have these also. And there are and we ourselves are born with a certain balance of these Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, if you haven't heard that before. And so, for example, if you would describe, you may recognize who you are here. Yeah, I tried to show the sun. Yeah, it's hidden there. But anyways, even if you recognize yourself as something now, that doesn't mean that's what you were born with. Although it changes throughout life, we are born, or when we are kids, we have more Kapha and more Pitta as grown-ups, and more Vata as we are older aged. But also depending on what happens in our lives, of course. But we still have this basic Prakriti. It's called our basic nature, that differs for each and every one of us. Although everyone have all of these, we have more or less of them, of these elements in ourselves. So, for example, mentally, that means that a Vata person is quick and restless, very quick-minded, and Pitta is more sharp in the intellect and more aggressive. Yeah, here I heard she was moving, so I took this snapper out. The cat. And it's Kapha is more calm, steady, stable. And when it comes to memory, Vata have short term memory, and Pitta general good memory, and Kapha long term is best. And the thought processes of Vata is constantly changing, and Pitta, they are fairly steady, and with Kapha they are steady and stable, but also they can be fixed, not easy to change. And when it comes to concentration, Vata have a short-term focus, and Pitta better than average mental concentration, and Kapha has a good ability for long-term focus. And for the ability to learn, Vata have a quick grasp of learning, and Pitta medium to moderate grasp, and Kapha is slow to learn new things. And when it comes to dreams, Vata is fearful, flying, running, jumping, such. And Pitta more angry, fiery, violent, adventurous. And Kapha, they more include water, clouds, relationships, romance. When it comes to sleep, Vata used to have an interrupted light sleeping pattern. Pitta, medium, and Kapha, heavy and long sleep. And when it comes to speech, Vata is fast and sometimes missing words. Have you heard that from someone? And Pitta is fast and sharp and clear cut, while Kapha is slow, clear and sweet. And I'm Vata Kapha, if you haven't reckoned that. And for the voice, the Vata have high pitch, Pitta medium pitch, and Kapha low pitch. So by these you can figure a little bit where you are at, or someone you know maybe. And when it comes to behaviors, eating speed, when it comes to Vata, is quick for Pitta medium and for Kapha slow. And hunger level for Vata is regular, and in Pitta it's sharp and needs food when hungry. And Kapha can easily miss meals. And when it comes to food and drink, Vata prefers warm, Pitta prefers cold, and Kapha prefers dry and warm. And when it comes to achieving goals, Vata is easily distracted. Pitta is focused and driven, and Kapha is slow and steady. And when it comes to giving and donations, Vata gives small amounts, Pitta gives nothing or large amounts infrequently, and Kapha gives regularly and generously. And in relationships, Vata have many casual ones, Pitta is intense, and Kapha is long and deep. And for the sex drive, Vata is variable or low, Pitta moderate, Kapha strong. And the one who works best, or when they work best, Vata when supervised, Pitta alone, and Kapha in groups. And weather preference for Vata is aversion to cold. It's actually what they don't prefer here, but Pitta aversion to heat, and Kapha aversion to damp, cool weather. And their reaction to stress, Vata excites quickly, Pitta medium, Kapha slow to get excited. And financial, Pitta doesn't save, spends quickly. Vata doesn't save, spends quickly. Pitta saves, but a big spender as well. Kapha saves regularly, accumulates wealth. And by the way, you can be a 3 dosha where you have all these three in almost the same balance, but most have 2 that are prominent, like as I am about a Kapha, for example. But there are those who are also 1 doshas that are, it's very clear that they have most of that. And when it comes to friendships, Vata tends towards short-term friendships and make friends quickly. And Pitta tends to be a loner and have friends related to occupation. And Kapha tends to form long-lasting friendships. And when it comes to emotional things, then the moods, when it comes to Vata, changes quickly. You start to know these by heart soon, right? And it's very logical when you see related to the elements and so on, how the wind moves and whatever. And Pitta change slowly, and Kapha steady and unchanging mood. And they react to stress within. Vata reacts with fear, Pitta with anger, and Kapha with indifference. And what they are more sensitive to, Vata to own feelings, and Pitta not sensitive, and Kapha to others' feelings. And when threatened, they Vata tend to run, Pitta tend to fight, and Kapha tend to make peace. And relationships with spouse, partner, Vata is clingy, Pitta is jealous. I don't have a lot of Pitta. I've almost never been jealous. I really don't. So that probably is why. And when it comes to Kapha, secure. And also you can, even if you have, for me, for example, if I'm as a Vata Kapha, I can still get very heightened Pitta. So I want to fight, for example, something like that. Yeah. So it can get out of balance depending on the situation. That can still occur if something, that element or that dosha is heightened for various reasons from the outside, but my balanced self would not do so generally. So an expresses affection, Vata with words, Pitta with gifts, and Kapha with touch. And when feeling hurt, Vata cries, Pitta argues, and Kapha withdraws. And emotional trauma causes, for Vata it's anxiety, for Pitta denial, and with Kapha it's depression. Confidence level for Vata is timid, and for Pitta outwardly self-confident, and Kapha is have inner confidence. So and physically, the amount of hair for Vata is average, Pitta thinning, and Kapha thick. Hair type for Vata dry, Pitta normal, Kapha oily. Hair color for Vata is light brown or blonde, Pitta red, or what does it say here? Album, or I don't know what it says there really, but yeah. But it doesn't mean that everyone, you have to be red-headed have red hair, for example, to be have a Pitta in your as your dosha. But there are some of it's the wholeness of it you count. So whether you have that or if everything else is so, then you would have that anyway. And Kapha, dark brown, black. And skin for Vata dry, rough, or both. And for Pitta soft, normal to oily, and for Kapha oily, moist, cool. And skin temperature would be for Vata cold hands and feet, Pitta would be warm, and Kapha cool. Complexion Vata is darker, Pitta is pink red, Kapha pale white. And the eyes for Vata is small, Pitta medium, Kapha large. Whites of eyes for Vata is blue-brown, Pitta yellow or red, and for Kapha glossy white. And size of teeth, Vata very large or very small teeth, and Pitta small to medium, and Kapha medium to large. And the weight for Vata is thin, hard to gain weight, and Pitta medium, and Kapha heavy, gains easily. And when it comes to elimination, Vata have dry, hard, thin, easily constipated. Pitta many during the day, soft to normal, and Kapha heavy, slow, thick, regular. And yeah. And there are some other things, but I will not say everything here, but When it comes to fitness profile, exercise tolerance for Vata is low, Pitta medium, Kapha high. Endurance, Vata fair, and for Pitta good, and for Kapha excellent. Strength for Vata fair, Pitta better than average, and for Kapha excellent. Speed for Vata is very good, and for Pitta good, and Kapha not so fast. Competition, Vata doesn't like competitive pressure, and Pitta driven competitor, and Kapha deals easily with competitive pressure. And walking speed, Vata is fast, Pitta average, and Kapha slow and steady. And when it comes to muscle tone, Vata have lean, low body fat, are lean, they are low body fat, and Pitta medium with good definition, and Kapha broad, I don't know, it's a bulky with higher fat percentage, yeah. And Vata runs like a deer, and Pitta runs like a tiger, and Kapha runs like a bear. I just think about it, yeah. How even when people walk, you can see it or anything, yeah. And body size for Vata is small frame, lean or long, very small or very tall usually. And Pitta medium frame, and Kapha large frame, fleshy, it says also. And reaction time for Vata is quick, and Pitta average, and Kapha slow. So there are some things. Meanwhile, I wave back and forth and try to show this beautiful book. I'm going to do a mediumship guidance or psychic reading to someone who gave me this book yesterday as a part of that payment for it. So I'm really glad for that. Yeah. And so, as I said then, or I maybe didn't say, but your mind body type, and you can have one mind time. Mine is very much Vata in my mind, and sometimes very slow like Kapha, but my body is mostly Kapha, and that's good. I tend to easily find my balance back, and that's a good balance to have, actually. Although to reach some goals or ambitions as such, it could be good to have a little bit more Pitta. So if I try to balance it and work on those things, then I can still reach certain goals, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. So, as the summary kind of the characteristics of winter Vata type: lighter, thinner build, performs activities quickly, tendency toward dry skin, aversion to cold weather, irregular hunger and digestion, quick to grasp new information, also quick to forget, propensity toward worry, tendency toward constipation, tendency toward light and interrupted sleep. And for Pitta, moderate build, performs activities with medium speed, aversion to hot weather, prefers cold food and drink, sharp hunger and digestion, dislikes skipping meals, medium time to grasp new information, medium memory, tendency towards reddish hair and complexion, has more moles and freckles, good public speakers, inclined towards irritability and anger, enterprising and sharp in character. For Kapha, solid, heavier build, greater strength and endurance, slow, methodical in activity, oily, smooth skin, slow digestion and mild hunger, tranquil, steady personality, slow to grasp new information, slow to forget, slow to become excited or irritated, Sleep is heavy and long. Hair is plentiful and wavy. And so you can also, my hair have changed. Sometimes there was a time when it was really like way curly, or not curly, but I usually have straight hair all my life. Until that point it just changed, and I think that was these douches also that had some impact. It was a happier time when it became curlier. And also kapha are the healthiest one. They don't easily get sick, but when they do, they can take a bit of time to correct it also. So to understand your mind body type, as we are all not all the same. Here's my little pink kitty. I did show you before the hummingbird that I hang there. Anyways, as we are not all the same. Oh yeah, and I also will show my little peyote cactus here that I love. She wonders what I'm doing here. She liked to to discipline me and tell me what to do. So this was not okay for her. Biting me later. Anyways, as we're not all the same, the Ayurvedic system of mind-body typing explains why each of us is different and how these differences can be used to tailor a balanced approach to, for example, weight loss then. So, yeah, there are 10 possible combinations of these 3 basic mind-body types. So what do you mean? No, what do you need then? And I've started using that myself. I should have. I can easily even feel my pulse, But, yeah, there are other things that are distracting to Vata like me. But I will tell you a little bit more about what a balanced Vata type feels like. Mental alertness, proper formation of body tissues, normal elimination, sound sleep, strong immunity, sense of exhilaration, and imbalanced, dry, rough skin, insomnia, constipation, gas, bloating, drying, cracking joints, fatigue, tension, headaches, intolerance of cold, degenerative arthritis, underweight, fear, anxiety, nervousness, worry. And to balance Vata, eat more of the foods from, you can find lists, about that if you just Google it. I won't read lists of that, but Vata balancing foods. Items that calm and pacify the nervous system. Give yourself a daily sesame oil massage, and you then should first make this oil mature. So you warm it, but be careful with that. Oh, I picked a rune. I didn't even say that. I have to write the rune down. I don't have a book for that rune. It's Osila, but it's upside down. I will write what it means below for you. So we have 7 layers of skin. So for it to go through all those layers, we need to. Otherwise, it stays on the surface. And so, yeah. Anyway, establish a daily routine of regular meals, meditation, exercise, and regular sleep habits. Eat 3 relaxing regular meals a day. Avoid stimulants, excessive travel, cold and dry weather, and sensory overload. I overload myself sensory all the time. And for Pitta, the balanced Pitta, normal heat and thirst mechanism, strong digestion, lustrous complexion, sharp intellect, contentment. Imbalanced rashes, inflammatory skin diseases, peptic ulcers, heartburn, visual problems, excessive body heat, premature graying or baldness, anger, frustration, short temper, hostility and irritability. And how to balance it. Eat more of foods that balance Pitta then. Avoid hot weather and overheating. Exercise in the cool part of the day. Do not over-exercise or be overly competitive. Avoid stimulants and spicy foods. Practice daily meditation, yoga, and breathing. Follow the Ayurvedic daily routine. You can find that too. Do not strain, overwork, or exhaust yourself. Stop and take time to eat regular meals and avoid snacking. And then for the kapha. A balanced kapha have muscular strength, vitality and stamina, strong immunity, affection, generosity, courage and dignity, stability of mind, healthy normal joints, and an imbalanced, oily skin, general lethargy, slow digestion, nausea, sinus congestion, nasal allergies, asthma, weight gain, depression, cysts, and other growths. So to balance it, eat kapha balancing food, practice more vigorous daily exercise, do not sleep past sunrise, avoid snacking between meals, but that doesn't work here in summertime where we have sunrise, so I mean 2 in the morning, but anyways, you understand. Avoid snacking between meals, eat lighter supper and large relaxing lunch, get to bed early before 10 p.m. Here I find this little, maybe I showed someone else, something else that I forgot, and how to choose exercise. I'll talk about that. Maybe I have time for a few minutes more. For Vata, winter types of Vata type love vigorous activity. They move quickly, tending toward overexertion and overtraining. They can become addicted to exercise, but they don't need as much exercise as the other types. They need longer and slower duration exercises, such as yoga and hiking. And Pitta, summer types, have strong egos and desire to win. They have lots of energy and muscular strength, but they need to focus on having fun rather than only winning. Team and non-competitive sports are good for summer types. Kapha, spring types, are a little slower, perhaps lethargic, but they have natural endurance. They are methodical and graceful. They need motivation and regular vigorous exercise. And also the nasal breathing during exercise. Because if you have to open your mouth during exercise, it's a sign that you're incurring unnecessary stress. Let the comfortable rhythm of your nasal breath be the monitor of how much exercise is good and how more exercise could be potentially harmful. So especially if you want to lose weight, because then, it's helpful to keep it moderate related to your. They used to say here. I also saw a book, Kybalion, and Tiptoe had this tattooed on her arm, I think, as well as Teal have. So, anyways, beneficial daily routines. I think I don't have time really to say that in a few minutes. I will mention that in a coming video. Yeah, and then I will also write down this rune, the meaning of the rune. And for you who thanks for comments, by the way, and if anyone wanted me to do a whole year reading of sorts or cards or personal ones, you need to tell it so that I understand that you mean that. But thanks for comments anyway. And take good care of yourselves, and that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this little. And here are some. I showed them before. I think there are some. What are they called now? These leaves. They said that the Oracle of Delphi had these. Or the smoke came up to her. Bay leaves. I almost didn't come up with the English name for them. Yeah. And I've used them sometimes, but since I see things already, I usually don't want to enhance that too much, because that can get overboard. I see more than I want to see then. But they are very efficient though, if you want to. But maybe there are other practices that's more important to begin with. But you can use herbs and so on yourself. You don't have to buy those stuff. And here I have so you can know where the directions are if you use that for your making your circle magic work. So the little kitty. Okay, thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon, and many blessings to you all.